Hi. Yeah, I've got a water leak at my house, and I was wondering if I could get a plumber to come out. I wanted to ask what y'all charge. Wait, you charge what? An hour? That's ridiculous. I've got a neighbor that can take care of that. Let me call my neighbor Jim. I heard he knows how to solder. Hey, Jim. Yeah, I called the plumbing company. Come over here and fix this leaking copper pipe. They wanted an outrageous amount to come over here and fix this daggum pipe. And I'm just not gonna do it. You think you got time to come over here and take care of it? Hey, man. Yeah, I know how to solder. Well, I've never actually done it, but I seen a guy do it one time, and that's good enough for me. Grab that 5-gallon bucket of flux. We'll get this sucker to stick. Welcome to Texas Beard Adventures. I'm Brad Harrell, your host, and today we're going to be talking about why plumbers are so expensive.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Let's dive right in. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself if you're new to my channel. I am a master plumber. I've been working in the trade for 20 years now. I am third generation master plumber. My brother's a plumber. I've got two uncles that are plumbers. I've got a cousin that's a plumber. I wanted to talk a little bit about what it takes in the training to become a journeyman and then a master plumber. So it takes 4 years to become a journeyman, and that is 2,000 hours a year of OJT. OJT stands for on-job training. And then you go to Austin. Austin is where they have the test here in Texas. You go there, you take your test, you pass the test, become a journeyman. Then it takes 4 more years to become a master plumber. And that all the tests are held up in Austin. You go up to Austin, you take that test. That is a separate test from your journeyman. So you have now spent 8 years of your life to get a master plumbing license, which is the equivalent of a PhD and or an MD. So essentially we have the same amount of time requirements as a doctor, okay? So now that we've gone over the requirements of training, okay, just to be able to get your license and all the OJT that you have underneath your belt, all that time you're acquiring tools, okay? These tools range in price from not very expensive to very expensive, but they all have a specific job, okay? You've got your hand tools, right? You've got channel locks. I'm a big fan of Milwaukee. This is a Craftsman pair of crescent wrenches. This is a spud wrench, okay? So this is a smooth jawed, kind of like a pipe wrench, almost, a little bit different. But it's smooth, and that is for chrome plated stuff that you don't want to scar up with the teeth on your other stuff, okay? And I'll put links to the tools down below that you can go purchase some of these if you'd like, or you could just call a plumber and he'll have them on his truck. This here is a basin wrench, and this is to get up in tight spots, tighten up nuts on faucets. It's to get in between the wall and the sink up in that tight spot, just to be able to reach up in there, tighten it down. This one's kind of worn. You can see it's bent a little bit right there, but it still does me good. Then you got, of course, you got little stuff like a screwdriver. You know, I mean, this is not very expensive, but all of it adds up. You've got a sizing tool. This is one that was given to me by a buddy of mine, and I've got, this is 3/4. I've got half, 3/4, and 1. Then you have this right here. This is a soldering torch, okay? This is for soldering, soft soldering copper, okay? Soft soldering copper requires a little bit of heat flux for the solder to run into the joint. If you overheat a solder joint, then the solder won't take, and you'll burn up the joint, and then you have to start over from the beginning. Moving on to the next thing that was invented to take the place of soldering is the ProPress machine. Put your fitting in these jaws. I would grab one, but it is in here. I apologize. I didn't plan that very well. But you put a fitting in there. You pull the trigger right here, and this thing goes to work. See, the tightens down, and it makes the joint watertight. So these are rather expensive, especially for only doing one job. So that is what took the place of soldering. This is what took the place of crimping copper. This is a Uponor tool to spread Uponor. That is a PEX pipe, and this thing opens the pipe up to be able to slip the fitting into the joint. Okay, so this is a tool that only has one specific job. This is a tool that only has one specific job. This is a tool that only has one specific job. So are you getting the theme here? We got a bunch of tools that do specific jobs, but they're all required to do one job, plumbing. Let's see. This here is I got stuff falling here, sorry. This here is a big 1.5 inch socket, okay? Now, what would you need this for? What are you doing? Changing tires? No, this is to take out elements on water heaters. Use this big socket with this straight bar. It's like a breaker bar. And you can drain a heater, change out the element, fill it back up with water, replace a thermostat or what have you, and you're back in business. Let's see. We got a bandsaw. This would be for cutting pipe or metal or whatever you want to cut. It's got a real nice, strong, sharp blade on it. This here is a hammer drill / chipping hammer. Of course, it's for concrete, what have you. Sawzall, light, drill, impact, light, air compressor. I like Milwaukee. Milwaukee, if you're listening to this video, you want to sponsor me? I would be ecstatic. We got the trusty old pipe wrench here. That old adage of just need a bigger hammer, need a bigger pipe wrench. Man, one of my guys did that the other day. We got this joint. It was a union. We could not get that freaking union loose. So we got a bigger pipe wrench. We got the job done. Let's say you've got a sewer line that's clogged. You unclog it with the sewer machine, and but you still have a problem, okay? You want to know what that problem is? You get your customized fiber optic. You see my hand there? See it? Woo! Look at that handsome fella. Oh, yeah. You get this, you shove it down into the pipe, and you can see what's in there, all up in there. It's nice color, big color screen. I've also got a locator wand that goes with the camera that shows you the depth, the exact location of the head. It locates the head right here, and that is a very, very handy tool to have when you can't obviously see what's going on in the ground 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet down. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's going to be able to tell you what the obstruction is, if the pipes are misaligned and all that. So very grateful to have this tool from Customize. There is a certain amount of general liability insurance that you have to be in business in the state of Texas, which costs money. So, you got that expense also. Gas, oil, trucks, tires, all that overhead at your office, all that comes into play. So the more that stuff is, the more it costs to be in business. So it all reflects to the hourly wage of a plumber. Plumbers have continuing education that we have to do once a year. It's mandatory by the state, by the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners. And if you don't do it, you will lose your license. What goes on in that class? We learn updates in codes, changes in and things going on around the state. It keeps us up to date on everything that's going on. It's a good class to do, but it's still something that we have to do as plumbers to maintain our license. There's also new technologies always being introduced, whether they're good or bad, and we're always having to stay abreast of those, buy new tools to do the job. Like, for instance, this PEX tool. This was 20 years ago. This was not even invented. I mean, we were still soldering stuff, and 20 years ago we were pro pressing stuff on the commercial side. PEX is taking the place of copper in especially residential. We're starting to do it in commercial as well. So, you know, as new items come out of new ways to pipe stuff, then you have to get more tools and learn the ways of how to install that and all that. So that takes time and money as well. Plumbers protect the health and safety of the nation. So back before plumbers, the sewage would just run down the middle of the street, like in a drainage ditch, kind of. You can't have people in the streets and going in and out through drainage ditches full of sewage. That's how plagues begin. So plumbers play an extremely important role in the health and safety of the nation. I'm very proud to be a third generation master plumber. At one time in my company, we had 4 master plumbers working at the company, all with the same last name. Myself, my father, my brother, and my grandfather. So it's a pretty special time to be around then. So next time you've got a plumbing problem at your house and you think that any old body can take care of it, like old neighbor Jim over there, I would definitely contemplate that very heavily. You need to have somebody that knows what they're doing, that has been trained, and has the right tools to do the job. Do me a favor, if you're new to my channel, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. And I'll catch you on the flip side, you dang hillbillies. The hell's my helper at? Hey, put all these tools up, would you? You can call me Dr. Harrell.